Today at the AFSA conference, I ran through the culture dashboard methodology that the NFCC are publishing on the 15th of July at the NFCC Culture Conference. The methodology is a tool with guidance that will allow services to develop their own culture dashboards or to improve on culture dashboards that they already have in place. It's not a static product, it's something that will evolve and change and grow in time as practice evolves and changes and grows. Critically, like on the culture dashboard methodology, we looked at kind of what was its genesis, why do we need it, and that really came off the back of the LFB culture review, and we then took that to our culture conference and took it to the sector. And what became apparent was that services were at different levels of data maturity in terms of metering culture performance. So we took it upon ourselves, working with the sector and SMEs within the sector, to develop the culture dashboard methodology so that it's an open source methodology that isn't prescriptive in terms of the KPIs within, but does allow for a degree of flexibility in terms of reporting. If we move to a place where we have culture dashboards in place across services in the UK, with relative comparability and common metrics, then we will be in a position potentially where we can produce nationally aggregated data sets and analysis, and that'd be a really useful tool at a kind of national level in terms of being able to spot trends, horizon scan, and be able to sort of triage and deal with some of the issues that are emerging within kind of culture, as well as to meter kind of overall cultural performance. But importantly, culture dashboards are for services to use for the services benefit, and that's in terms of being able to show to their staff, their people, and the public that they are taking actions and metering the progress on actions in terms of their culture. So our initial interaction with the brigades has been really interesting because 9 of the services already have a culture dashboard in place. So we were able to draw down on the positive practice and the lessons learned from those services, and that has really strongly influenced our culture dashboard methodology. In addition, we also had a wide consultation with the entire sector that involved 38, we drew feedback from 38 services, but we also had contributions from the Equality and Human Rights Commission, the IFSG, so the Inclusive Fire Service Group, which involves the national employers, the trade unions, etc., and also the Home Office, HMI, and Scottish Government. This is my first AFSA conference. I have to say it's been a very impressive conference. We've had really amazing speakers. The discourse has been really at a very kind of high quality level. I've really enjoyed myself. I feel really lucky and really privileged to be able to be here to take part and participate in the discussions. I really appreciate the very warm welcome that I've received from my fire service colleagues, but also my AFSA colleagues. I think conferences like this are hugely important for the development of continuing development of positive practice and the sharing of positive practice. I think they are an opportunity for people to have water cooler moments from people from different parts of the country with different experiences, and very much so at AFSA. I am a white middle-class Scottish person who lives on a tiny island. My life experience is very different to that of somebody from Birmingham, from a Southeast Asian background. So being able to have conversations around the tools, products and guides that I am working on in a safe space with peers is hugely valuable. And peers from different, particularly peers from different backgrounds. So I think there is that. I think it is also about making connections and being able to make connections in terms of getting to know people, which is also very useful and very personable and is great. But I think importantly, it's about making connections with our different bits of work and our different issues that we have and how we are dealing with those issues individually, and being able to take forward collective action in order to resolve some of those issues and challenges. So I think this conference, along with other conferences, are great to be able to do that. But I think what is different about an AFSA conference is that we are able to go into much more detail on some of those specific cultural issues, but also be able to reflect on the lived experience of others in a very sensitive, very meaningful and psychologically safe way. So I think to aspire to be outstanding is a fundamental principle in fire and rescue. I think it's absolutely key to what we need to, how we need to be, not only from an operational perspective, because outstanding means good outcomes in terms of lives saved. So I think in terms of aspiring to be outstanding, from my own personal reflection on that, is that what does outstanding mean to me? And I think outstanding means to me that that I deliver in my work for the NFCC, for the sector, for the services, and for the people that services ultimately serve, so the community. And not just to deliver the de minimis, Pete does his job and goes home at night and that's it. It's that I live and breathe it because I deal with humanity. That's what we're in a people game. And it's, in order to deal with humanity, and you deal with the good, the bad, and everything in between, and to be able to deal with that in a respectful, supporting, caring environment, and be able to foster those ideals, and through the core code of ethics, and to live and breathe that is my outstanding, and that's the benchmark that I set myself. And there are times where I'm not outstanding. There are times where I falter. There are times where I fail. But knowing that I do so in the security of knowledge that I will learn and grow from it, and I'll be able to seek support from others within the sector, I think is hugely important.